We are Geekcentric, and you can be too. Love ya. Get home safe, guys. Peace. What's up, geeks, and welcome to the Geekcentric podcast. My name is Nate, and this is our first episode ever. This is a weekly show covering the world of film, television, gaming, toys, and collectibles, and all things geek-centric. Joining me on the show, we have J-Law.
Yo, yo.
And to his right, we've got Big Kev Dog himself, Kevin.
What an intro. What's up, geeks and geekettes? Let's do this.
How's it going today, guys?
It's time for the GCPC.
Okay, is that what we're calling?
Wow, GCPC.
That's a sick name.
I don't know. It kind of sounds like something that you don't want to have.
And on that note, I'm super stoked to dig into our first episode. But before we do, I thought it would be a good idea if, Justin, you kind of mentioned you might want to kind of talk a little bit about why it is that we're making this podcast and, you know, what our decision behind moving from our YouTube channel content into more audio long form content.
Yeah, so for people that are finding us for the first time, we start our geeky adventure in the YouTube world. The three of us knew that we wanted to create content and try our hand at making something that was entirely unique. And I think I've been fortunately blessed to have you guys believe in what we're doing from a creative standpoint. And I think, you know, it kind of winds its way all the way back to, you know, Kevin and I kind of starting as, you know, high school friends and just wanting to make something, just wanting to do something. And
It only took 20 years.
it only took 20 years.
Mhm.
You know, it's that idea, right? Like when you're a creator or you want to create, it's like there's a lot of talk, right?
Mhm.
And I was learning very early on. I spent a lot of time talking about things I
doing
wanted-
something.
Yeah, about
Yeah.
wanting to make something, about wanting to do something. And I spent a lot of that time talking with Kevin and yourself
Mhm.
about different things that I'd love to do. And I
Mhm.
think what was really great is we honed in on a passion of ours.
Mhm.
And we said, why don't we turn that into something that we can make? And that's collecting. And we are huge collectors who enjoy that sport of getting those unique finds and things that mean something to us, remind us of that, our past and those things that we appreciate. And I think that's what kind of spearheaded this whole process, right?
Yeah, Kevin, how many subscribers do we have now?
We have 10,055 at last count.
10,055,
So
which is...
You know, and when you consider
Unreal.
that in the middle of July, we were sitting around 600 or 700 going, you know what would be a good goal for the end of our second year? 1,000. Let's find a way to get to 1,000.
Yeah.
And then overnight, Lion King took off.
Mhm.
Boom. It's at 2.8 million views.
It's crazy.
And, you know, we hit 1,000 in 5 days. And over the next 2 months, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, if you are listening to us from, you've come from our YouTube channel, from, you know, watching that, if you are a subscriber, thank you so much for helping us get to this point. We are extremely excited, and really, this is just the beginning. And I
Yes.
think the content that we make, yes, it is something we absolutely love. We have a passion for, but we've got all this other stuff that we want to talk about. And I think that's really why we're doing this.
I think going back to the root of your question is, why are we doing this? It's because, you know, we've discovered that the channel was meant to kind of be all purpose.
Mhm.
But once we discovered our niche of what we do really well, it's kind of hard to deviate and get the new audience when we were focusing so hard on that collectible side.
Right.
So now the podcast, and we all love podcasts.
Mhm.
We all love listening to the podcasts of our interests, and we know the value that they add to our day-to-day. So we want to start adding some value to other people's day-to-day by talking about the things that we love and the things that we really wanted to do, like movie reviews,
Mhm.
talking about television shows, up and coming things,
Mhm.
you know, news and popular culture. Like, you know, that was the kind of the goal
Mhm.
with where we wanted to go with the channel. And I still think it's possible, but I think it's we're on a certain direction with the channel.
Mhm.
The podcast is now going to be this whole new avenue of being able to just open up about these things that we really love. So I'm super excited about that.
I don't want to make the channel sound like it's just for collectors or it's just for a specific audience, because I think what we try to do differently than, other similar channels is bring more than just the collecting to it. We want to show where the passion comes from behind that collecting. And so our videos aren't just about the collectibles themselves, but about the pop culture that inspired them and why we like that. And so the channel is definitely not just for somebody who collects pops or collects statues or collects that sort of thing. I think any fan of The Office can watch our latest fun boxing video and, pick up on some subtle jokes we put in, notice the tribute to it, get a nice nostalgic flashback to the show. And it's really designed both to showcase a collection as well as our passion for it. And I think one of the strongest elements of our videos is Justin's amazing technical prowess and his ability to assemble a video and shoot and cut a video with like pristine quality. I mean, this guy's top notch. I'm not even just saying that because he paid me to for the show. But
he's literally
to do
handing
something,
you bills right now. No.
to do something with that quality in the format of a movie review, it just wasn't worth the time and effort that, that went into it, and didn't give us the freedom to talk as candidly as we're going to be able to here. And so I think that's where we're shifting to this podcast format, is to give ourselves a chance to just blab on and on and on, where there's a more concise nature to the YouTube channel.
Absolutely. And I think that's a good call out. Like, it's not about the channel. The hope is that the channel would capture those fans of the various things that we kind of speak to. Kevin brought up The Office, but like, even if we go back to Lion King, 2.5 million, those people that appreciated that comes from that appreciation of like the music and the aesthetic, and those toys symbolize something to them. So to draw on that audience, for them to watch it and then engage with us further by hitting that subscribe button. Yeah. That's huge.
Yeah.
So guys, speaking of that, if you are listening to the podcast but not subscribe to the channel, get over there. Let's hit 100K next.
You can check us out.
Let's do it.
Yeah, check us out on YouTube. You can search Geekcentric. That's Geekcentric,
not geocentric.
Every
geocentric.
time. No, you did not mean geocentric.
But if you want the direct link, it's youtube.com/Geekcentric.
But that's not what we're here for today, is it, Nate?
No, it's not. Actually, we've got some really cool segments that we're going to be kind of filtering throughout every episode. But the way we're going to start every episode is just with Whatcha. So let me ask you, Justin, what you been doing?
What have I been doing? Well, I have been watching movies lately. I have been kind of on this Scorsese binge, if you will.
Okay.
Oh, that's relevant. About time.
Well, no, I've always really been into Scorsese films, but with The Irishman coming up, I definitely wanted to. There's a lot of people that are saying that this is going to be harkening back to very traditional styles of Scorsese, and I think he's kind of winded his way through certain things. So I'm not watching everything, but I'm watching movies that I think are relative to just understand his aesthetic. Okay. So not getting into mass detail on each, but I started with Goodfellas again. I actually had never seen Casino, Kevin.
Okay.
Because we were talking about
You made a movie called Casino, Kevin?
No, Casino.
Casino.
Well, no, Kevin and I were talking, and he's like, oh, Casino is better than Goodfellas.
Yes, I prefer Casino over Goodfellas.
Right. So, and I had never seen Casino, so I was like, oh, I've actually never watched this. And I watched it, and I will just give you this one thing. I don't see very much of a difference between Goodfellas and Casino, other than some better acting, in my opinion, from De Niro and Sharon Stone.
The similar cast, definitely,
and also the similar narrative, and like this, it being read to you and so on, or the story being told to you. Now I've moved into Departed, and I think I'm actually going to go back. Weird little dance I'm doing, but I watched Departed because I feel like that fits. Yeah. But I actually have not seen. This is really bad. I've not seen Gangs of New York.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how much that one will hearken to Irishman based on the trailers and everything, but it's a must see flick if you're doing a Scorsese run.
I will say this though, from watching all these movies, he definitely is. He has his own unique style. He has his own unique way of storytelling. I'm interested to see how he brings some of those traditional elements that he's already used
into this new Netflix
movie. Into this new Netflix film. And it's being posted as a Netflix film, but we know it's also going to do the circuit of the festivals. And it's going to do the Oscars.
Oscars,
and,
yeah.
You know, it's going to
it's a lot like the Eddie Murphy movie that's making waves right now.
What
right?
is?
I Am.
Oh, there's an Eddie Murphy movie?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to but
No,
it's
right.
another Netflix movie that's hitting theaters and limited engagement first, you know, so for the fans of the theater, whatever, you can go see it there. But he's getting buzz. Eddie's back, apparently. But anyway, so that's not what we're talking about. We're doing Irishman.
Well, and just in terms of Scorsese, so little fun fact, I have never seen any of the films that you have just mentioned, ever.
Get used to this. You're going to go, what? At least once an episode to something Nate hasn't seen.
Yeah, that's, we'll have a whole segment on what we haven't seen sometime in the future. But I was curious, is he like one of those directors that uses the same group of actors in every movie?
He's worked really closely with like De Niro for an extended period of time.
Yeah, he's done a bunch with De Niro. He's done a bunch with Leo.
Yep, a bunch with Leo.
He's got his own muses, right? Like he's one of those directors, yes, that does have.
He has good relationships with certain actors, and I think he likes to challenge. He likes to take his writing and his characters and position it with an actor.
Okay.
And then challenging that actor, right? I find De Niro very one pace.
Like I was gonna say, that's the one thing I like about the Leo movies over the De Niro ones is that Leo's different in both of those, like drastically different. Where it's De Niro playing the same type of guy, the same character, and it looks like this is like the same character again,
right?
But older, you know,
exactly.
Which is kind of cool. Let's revisit that character 20 years later. But
it's gonna be good, and I coming back to the Irishman, the cast itself, Joe Pesci's in it, Al Pacino's going to be in it. Like we have these quintessential actors that kind of established also like the quote unquote gangster movies of Hollywood, resurging themselves in this new film directed by, a very pivotal gangster Hollywood film. Yeah, the king of gangster Hollywood films. So
cool.
So super excited for that. And I've just been enjoying some Scorsese.
Awesome. I think we might talk a little bit more about him throughout today's episode, maybe just a little. But Kevin, what you been doing?
Well, for our younger listeners.
Oh, sorry. One thing. Dolomite is My Name is the name of the movie you were thinking of.
Yes,
earlier.
thank you. Dolomite is My Name.
With the Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. Getting great buzz. Eddie's back. Yeah.
It looks. I haven't watched a trailer for it, but these screenshots look awesome.
Yeah. It looks like it's going to be out of control.
Very
cool. Excited for that one.
Sorry.
But what I've been watching is Watcha. I mean, how do you say that singularly?
Right.
That's what I mean.
What about?
What about?
All right.
So what I've been up to is for our younger listeners, there's a thing called network television, and shows are released weekly, not all at once, where you can binge them. And
how much do you have? You have to subscribe to that?
No.
What
You just
website
pay
is that?
a buttload to a cable company.
So you technically are subscribed.
I guess in a sense, yes. But so end of September, early October means season premiere weeks.
Okay.
And like as much as I like streaming, as much as I love having a show and being able to watch it all in 8 hours and just absorb, I also love having nights. Thursday night was Friends back when I was a kid, and then Thursday night was The Office night. And having those nights where it's like every Wednesday, you can't wait till that show comes on. I mean, I still DVR it so I can skip the commercials, but so getting a new season of It's Always Sunny, which is exciting. A new season of American Horror Story, which is less exciting, but I'm still gonna watch it. We're 9 seasons deep or whatever. Let's see what they do this time.
You've been watching it that whole time.
I mean, I didn't watch it till about season 6 or so, and then I caught up through binging, ironically enough. But now it's at season 9.
But it's not it's an anthology series,
yeah,
right?
so
like
every season's different. So that's been back. Last season of Modern Family. So while the show has dipped drastically in quality, I'm still going to stick through it to the end. And
you got to see how it ends.
So I mean, that's just been my last few weeks is catching back up on all the shows that start at the end of September.
On the good old television.
Nate, what you been up to? What you been up to, Nate?
I caught up on The Righteous Gemstones on HBO through Crave. I don't have the cable that you speak of for the olds, but no, I've been watching The Righteous Gemstones. It's interesting because it is. There's a lot of really funny moments to it, but it's starting to get to that place where, like any good HBO dark comedy. It's starting to get.
It's getting heavy. Like, how many episodes are they in now?
So they're at 8 episodes as of just last Sunday.
Oh wow, I'm way behind on that one. Wow, because I saw the undertones of that happening in the first one. So if it's just ramping up, I can only imagine.
It's gonna, it starts to, and it keeps some of its fun aspects to it as well. But there's this one character who I'm not sure if you've met yet, named Uncle Baby Billy, and he is just. He's incredible. He's one of the older characters on the show, and they use a bunch of makeup on him to make him look a lot older. Walter Goggins.
Walter.
Do you know who Walter Goggins is?
Of course.
He does this incredible job, and they use this makeup to make him look a lot older. But he's so freaky and very. He's deep south. Kind of character, right?
I think Walter Goggins is eventually going to establish himself as the prime character actor of our time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you guys watch Sons of Anarchy, but he plays a transvestite character.
Oh, really?
And he is so lovely as this character. You love when he or she is on screen. Like,
right.
It's amazing. So, like, he's different in every role. You know, unless he's playing that really stereotypical bad guy, which he does very well. Yeah. He can be different in every role.
But he's kind of like Gary Oldman in that way,
that's
right?
What I mean.
Where
he's kind of that next guy who almost is unrecognizable each time you see him.
Very cool, very cool. I'd love to watch more stuff with him in it. Just getting the first taste of it in Righteous Gemstones, but yeah.
Well, yeah, Walton Goggins is
Walter. Right?
Oh, Walton Goggins.
Walton.
Yeah.
Oh, is it Walton?
Yeah, it is Walton.
Oh, geez, I don't even see him. That's respect.
Walton Goggins is. He is the Deep South actor. Like he
was great in Django.
I'm almost certain that he is from the southern states. It should say on his IMDb.
Almost certainly with that drawl. Yeah,
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think he was great. Yeah, he's from
Birmingham, Alabama. Yeah,
he's from Alabama.
Alabama.
Right? So being from Alabama, he basically just brings that Deep South to every role that he plays. I loved him in Hateful Eight.
Oh yeah,
he was great in Hateful Eight.
Again, another movie. I know. Anyways,
You know what the segment should be? Things Nate
hasn't
seen.
Listen, I'm sure there are movies that you guys have not seen that will freak people out.
I've listed a few.
Yeah. And then I did actually watch a Scorsese movie called The King of Comedy. It's what the Joker was based off of, or I guess was based off of, and kind of where Todd Phillips originally drew that inspiration from.
Well, it was early on rumored that Scorsese was actually going to direct it.
Right, he was originally attached to it.
Yeah, but if I'm not mistaken, he ended up just taking a producer credit. If I'm not on Joker,
I don't even know if he did that, but I do know that the movie The Irishman that you mentioned was the reason, apparently, that he didn't end up helping out with the Joker or taking on the Joker. So yeah,
he's not on the producer list.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna talk a little bit about the Joker a little bit later, but first, let's get into the news. It's all about the details. All right. So speaking of Martin Scorsese, our first news story comes from an interview with Empire magazine in which Martin Scorsese was asked about what he thinks of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, to which he replied with, "I don't see them. I tried, but that's not cinema. Honestly, the closest I can think of them, as well made as they are, with actors doing the best they can under the circumstances, is theme parks. It isn't cinema. It isn't the cinema of human beings trying to convey emotional, psychological experiences to another human being." So, guys, as huge fans of the MCU, as well as Justin, obviously you're a big fan of Scorsese, and Kevin probably as well. Do you agree with what he kind of thinks about our beloved MCU?
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think he's wrong. I think what he's talking about is that he comes from a different background of what film means to him.
Right.
And he knows, being in the industry, there's two kinds of movies that are being made. Mm-hmm. There's films that are, as he references, about the emotional sort of connection with people and talking about bigger things with the medium of film. Mm-hmm. But then there's also the product of film, the idea of selling things with film. MCU does that really well.
Well, yeah, I mean, Disney, that's their whole bag, right?
Again, you just brought it in.
Yeah.
Disney is behind that.
Yeah.
Therefore, which is why they knew that property had such an interest because they can then market the heck out of it.
Right.
Right? So he's not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Is his opinion valid? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's not taking into consideration his generational difference between himself and the audience that does connect. I connect with the MCU. I can find an emotional connection with it because as a kid reading those comics, I found an emotional connection.
Right.
So I don't think it's in poor taste. I just think it's more or less, it just shows more so his generational difference.
That said, what a dickhead. Like, if you don't like it, who cares?
Yeah.
Don't watch them. Nobody's forcing you.
Yeah.
Why do you need to go out and say that? You know?
Well, I mean, he was directly asked in the Empire Magazine interview,
Okay,
right? Like,
fair
what do you
enough.
think of?
They're not for
the
me.
MCU?
End of.
Yeah.
Don't put them down like this. Like, oh, they're a lower form of cinema.
Right.
Get over
or they're
yourself.
not cinemas, I think,
Yeah,
right?
except, right.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
But like we know,
get over
that.
yourself.
But
Yeah.
but like when you think of cinema,
Yeah.
Kev, like when you guys think of cinema,
Sure, it's a movie.
like what would you?
It's a
reference
movie. They're Marvel movies. He oftentimes makes films.
Yeah.
I don't think Shutter Island is this, like, you know, groundbreaking cinematic film.
Right.
It's a movie.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a spy. It's a mystery movie with
Thriller,
Leo.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
that's a box office blockbuster attempt if I've ever seen one by
Right.
a guy who's, you know, touting himself as being superior to it. I don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I find it a bit arrogant.
I mean, I think to Justin, to what you were saying, like in terms of the age differences, yeah, I just think not everyone, especially these days, wants to go see a Scorsese style movie. And granted, can I speak to that? No, because I literally just said I've only watched one that I can name.
Yeah, but you're an example
Right.
of exactly that generational difference.
Yes, exactly.
And I'm right in between.
Yeah.
I'm a 30-something-year-old guy who loves a Scorsese movie from the late 80s, early 90s.
Right.
And I also, you know, go to see every Marvel cinema in the theater. Why
Yeah.
can't I have both? Why
Yeah.
can't I have films and movies?
Right.
Films get awfully boring if that's all you're watching. And movies get awfully dull and repetitive if you don't have a good piece of film to sort of separate it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that absolutely. Yeah, let's go. Like, I want to go see movies, and then I think even for films, like there are, I don't know. I find that I enjoy movies and I study films.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
at least for me,
Sure.
that's kind of how I feel.
I think that's what he's kind of getting at.
Yeah.
In his statement, is
Yeah.
that like in cinema,
Mhm.
you interpret it, you take it in, and you analyze it or study it.
Right.
With a movie like a Marvel movie, you
Yeah.
go and you enjoy it,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Years
right?
from now, people that are studying marketing and film might observe the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but observing great cinematic film might not be the MCU.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. I think there's a differentiation between those. So
All right, cool. We've got a little bit of gaming news. This kind of sort of non-news, but this comes from Alex Baker Whitcomb over at Wired.com, who writes, "Yes, the PlayStation 5 is real, and it's coming next year. The PS5 is set to come with a lightning fast solid-state drive, so no more loading screens, a next-generation controller that has adaptive triggers offering varying degrees of resistance. So shooting a bow might actually feel like shooting a bow. It also comes along with a much improved UI, as well as a 4K Blu-ray player, which boggles my mind how the PS4 Pro does not have a 4K Blu-ray player, this Sony-owned medium, but my Xbox One X does. Guys, are you stoked for PS5? What are your thoughts?
I am a PlayStation. Like, I only do PlayStation. Don't
Yeah.
do Nintendo. Don't do Xbox. So I'm excited to see. But I think the problem I've always had with Sony is that they don't they do so much to try to enhance the hardware within their window of these products. Like you have the PS4, then you have the PS4 Slim, then you have this VR. They do all this hardware stuff, but things like UI, like there's so much power in these machines. Like the UI should have been improved like eons ago.
Yeah,
right.
I think
like
everyone
little
thinks
things
that.
like that, right?
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, well, we got to wait for a new system for it. Like that's just a
Right.
cop out,
Yeah.
right? Like we know based on like what we use, like in terms of like our phones and that technology, software is always getting updated on a regular. Gaming platforms need to kind of think that way too, right? Like there's people that interact with our hardware every day.
Yeah.
So we need to find ways to improve
and how they get to their games.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like the loading screen thing, like you're still going to have loading screens, man. Those games are going to be huge.
Are we talking about like pre-game or mid-game?
I think they're more referring to the concept of mid-game. So maybe loading the overworld.
I'm playing God of War right now.
Yep.
There's no loading there.
No,
That's like, boom, a continuous story. So they've already done it.
It's mind-blowing.
I will just say about this, I know it's my fault, and I'm late to the party, but I just bought a PS4 last year for Spider-Man. I do not want to buy another system already.
Well, you have until holiday of 2020.
Yeah, I'll be picking that up in about 2022 at this rate. Although I will say improved UI, because, man, it takes me like 5 minutes to find Amazon Prime on that stupid thing. Like, it is poorly designed in terms of navigating.
The customization and navigation is just horrible. And like that's why I never use it for those platforms of like watching Netflix or watching Amazon.
Yeah.
Because there's just other hardware that I have that just does it
so much
better.
easier. Man, my cable does it on a channel.
Exactly.
It's built into your TV.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Laura Mealy, the chief studio officer for EA, was quoted as saying, "We're stepping into the generation of immediacy. In mobile games, we expect a game to download in moments and to just be a few taps from jumping right in."
But if
or 24 hours of downloading in the case of these games.
So is that something that we can fix just with hardware?
No, but see, this is my thing. If that's the sell of a PS5, it's going to load faster, and you're going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
That is such a cop out, right? I want better graphics. I want a better gaming experience. You know what I mean? I want it to draw from the traditions of what established PlayStation and enhance it and keep it moving forward. I don't want, we've added a solid state drive, which you should have done probably, in your iterations of re-releasing the PS4.
Right.
You should have already done that.
Yeah.
You just went and created a PS4 Pro.
Right.
Doesn't that have a solid state?
I actually don't know.
So if it doesn't, then huge cop out for them.
Right.
They're literally like, and this is it. This is what happens. Brands like this, they take these little things, they put it in, they know it's going to make a difference, and then they know that they can just make a cash cow off of it. So you're still going to pay like X amount of dollars. It's like, you already have the technology.
I mean, I'm personally hoping, I don't think you're going to get that wish of better graphics in the next generation. I do think we are going to start to see better AI. I think that's really the future of games is when we're a character in these worlds that don't have loading screens and the experiences we're having in there. Plus, this new controller sounds also really cool with like haptic feedback of like the triggers being harder to pull based on what you're doing. You don't think so, Kevin?
I mean, sure, but there's already like 10 bloody buttons on the thing. Now I need to know how to press them properly. I'm getting way too old for this shit. Super Nintendo had 3 buttons and a friggin' dialogue, like a directional stick, man.
And I think that's a valid point. Like the idea that, it's going to be something like, right now you hit that top trigger or that bottom trigger. Well, now if like you hit
gently graze it.
You hit it and flick it. And,
like try and play a hockey game now, man. I grew up on NHL 93.
Yeah.
Shoot and pass and hit.
Yeah.
The 3 buttons.
Yeah.
You skate around, you bash the crap out of somebody, you shoot the puck, you score.
And watch.
Now it's like, ooh, this is how you do a between the leg, over the head, twisty twirl deke. And it's like, okay, it's cool, but like, it's like, it almost takes me out just trying to learn and memorize all of these ways to play. I mean, again, I'm getting old, I guess.
Sure.
I sound like an old crotchety man. I'm Scorsese.
Yeah, what are you
doing? PlayStation. You are not classic gaming.
Yeah. All right, and then we've got one last news story here. Marvel's Infinity Saga box set will set you back a pretty penny, according to a story by Ethan Anderton from Slash Film. Best Buy posted a product page for the Infinity Saga, including the official product image and price. Included in the box, you guys want to know what's in the box?
What's in the box?
So what's in the box is going to be all 23 movies, each one in 4K UHD and Blu-ray, individually packaged in new sleeves. A bonus disc exclusive to the set that includes never-before-seen deleted scenes and extended takes and more. An exclusive lithograph with art by Matt Ferguson and a lovely letter by Kevin Feige. This will be a numbered limited edition set, and it will cost...
Just tell me the price. I want to know.
It will cost a whopping $500.
US.
$550 for 23. But now the only thing I'm not sure about the wording here is it 23 discs that are 4K UHD and also the Blu-ray version of each one?
It sounds by the way you read it,
yeah.
Yes, but I think that now that 4K Blu-ray is a thing,
mm-hmm.
It's probably just the one.
It's just the one disc.
Yeah. Because
does it matter? Does it matter if it's one disc or two?
I mean, from a value standpoint, maybe for some people, I don't know.
I think from
you're
a
paying
value
for 23 movies.
Yeah.
Let's just,
Yeah, but if you're paying for 23 movies that are all 4K Blu-ray, that kind of works out. And then the extra stuff is just that, there was a lot of I was reading comments on it, how people were just disappointed that they didn't try to do more.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much it is?
No, for $575, if you bought all 23 at like $25 a pop, it's costing you $575. It's a limited edition set.
Yeah.
You're getting in this gorgeous box for, I don't collect DVDs anymore, but that was a huge passion of mine for years. Over 1,500 pieces. And the nicer the box, the more I wanted it. And, you pay for that sort of aesthetic quality that you're going to get. And this thing looks stunning.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're paying about the same as you would have going and collecting them over the years. And, I mean, Marvel's done an okay job of keeping a sort of uniformity to the design of their movies throughout the phases.
Yes, but when it comes to the box sets, the one thing that, a lot of people went online and were commenting how it didn't have like a sort of, people were talking about they wanted a gauntlet that was with all the discs.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Well, because I have the first Phase 1 box set, which is in the
briefcase. That thing is sick.
It's super cool. It still lights up.
The second one, Phase 2, came in the orb from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
And it was all the discs just layered in it.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
It didn't do a very long run because it was so expensive.
Right.
Well, and how would you get them out? Did you have to take like 5 movies out to...
No, the orb would have them divided.
Oh, like this.
Yeah.
I see. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I think this, at least, if they were to do a gauntlet, you would have been paying way more, right? Like this is to kind of like, okay, we're giving people 23 movies.
Right.
How do we make this cost effective, but still give them as much as humanly possible?
And think about how nice that's going to look on your shelf.
Yeah.
That diorama, that
the way
picture,
the artwork goes.
The artwork.
So the lithograph artwork is actually on each spine of each of the movies that all together make up that one piece of artwork.
It looks like a series of books rather than movies.
Yeah, almost like small, thin graphic novels or whatever.
That's exactly what it's meant to look
You guys,
like,
listen, I came in here ready to rip this thing apart because $550 for something that doesn't include a big plastic gauntlet, but no, you guys are turning me around on this.
I think if you were to get something like that, you'd be paying close to $700 US.
Well, and how big would it have to be a
gauntlet's
life-size, weird shape, and then what did you pay for your recent gauntlet purchase? Right. Now you're going to add 23 4K
and
HD
that bonus
Blu-ray,
content is going to be leaked
movies.
Online for sure.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you'll be able to find that anywhere.
That's going to be...
Didn't they already release it in that re-release of the movie? Is this additional
Apparently it's
footage?
never before seen. Yeah. Never before seen.
Cool.
They're taking things from each movie that's never before seen, like alternate takes
that's cool.
behind the
scenes.
scenes.
I don't watch that stuff personally, but if it didn't make the final cut, why do I give a crap?
I'm interested, though, if they have like good director's commentary on it, and if they're using the old director's commentary, if they got it all for the films, or did they bring back these filmmakers to record new commentaries now for this box set, which would be really interesting because like some of those, like Jon Favreau coming back to revisit Iron Man and Iron Man 2 and to hear his thoughts about like how he went through the process and now and then. So interesting.
Cool. Well, guys, that is the news for this week. Moving on to our next segment, we're going to take a look at some of the latest trailers that have dropped in this segment, Trailer Time.
It's trailer time.
We're going to go ahead and talk about some of the latest trailers that have been released that have dropped. The first trailer that I want to talk about is 6 Underground. Have you guys seen this trailer?
Yeah, I saw it.
It's directed by Michael Bay.
Michael Bay, baby.
So
Michael Bay, Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. Dave Franco's in this movie.
Yep.
As well as Melanie Laurent and Ben Hardy.
Yeah. The story looks really interesting based on the trailer. Like just, again, trailers don't really give you that much other than just...
They don't? This one gave so much away.
Well, okay, sorry. I totally agree with that statement. Trailers do tend to oversell things and really like just tell you the story.
Sure.
At least with this one, we just kind of see the actions and what kind of the basis is.
Yeah. I think Michael Bay's directing style is all over this trailer with all the explosions and
the low angle
cars,
a lot of glass everywhere.
There's a shot that they refer to in his aesthetic, which is called like the hero shot, the like low angle,
right?
Almost like God shot, they call it sometimes.
Yeah,
where it's
in
like low
everything
angle
he does,
and like and the camera's under the actor and it kind of pans around and makes them look really heroic and
right.
Very.
It's Bad Boy with the guns pointed out.
Exactly.
And stuff. Yeah.
So there's like I think like 3 or 4 different shots in there where that's been used, and like the slow motion cars and the fast shots of the cars and stuff like that. It just looks really interesting. I'm intrigued to see it on Netflix.
Is it a Netflix?
It is a Netflix producer.
Really?
It's gonna be in theaters as well.
So that's going to be the new thing, eh? You want to see it in theaters or on Netflix?
Well, it goes without saying, like, Netflix has been causing a bit of a ruckus in the studio industry. So, I think this is kind of their time to shine, right? Yeah. So if they get Irishman all the way to the Oscars and it's nominated,
well, they already did that with the Spanish film.
That is true. And did they win Best Picture for that? Roma? Did Roma win Best Picture?
I think it won foreign film, but not Best Picture.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
because there was no way that was happening.
Yeah.
It's going to happen eventually, but it wasn't happening the first time.
This could be the year. I don't know.
Oh, do you think it'll be the Six Underground that'll win the Best Picture?
No, it could definitely be. I think it'll be interesting to see if Irishman actually can. Yeah,
but it's cool to see Michael Bay. But like I'm telling you, that scene on the boat when the magnet goes off, man, that was going to be the coolest part of that movie. You were going to go, how are they going to escape this grenade? And then boom, that was going to go off and it was going to be wicked. And they gave it away in the trailer.
Yeah.
I hate trailers. I hate trailers. Like, it's a new Michael Bay action flick with Ryan Reynolds. Send me a postcard with that information on it and I'll either see it or not. I don't need to see 2 minutes of a movie and you give away all the best action spots.
I would really love it if movies started selling themselves like that, where they just
postcards?
send you a postcard.
Hey,
Kevin, you should go check out this movie.
Yeah, Kevin's gonna love the segment.
Why?
Every
Facebook
time we do
can recommend stuff for me based on what I like. YouTube does it. Why can't movies?
Right.
You seem to like this type of movie. Maybe check out this.
Right.
I mean, Netflix already does it.
Yeah.
But I don't need these 2-minute trailers that give away everything.
I think maybe teaser trailers are more your jam.
Yeah, man.
Now, this next trailer is not a teaser trailer. The first teaser trailer for this movie premiered right before It, Chapter 3. Chapter 2, sorry, correct. This is for Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. What a name of a movie.
Stupid.
Too long?
Oh, it's so long.
Yeah. I mean, people are just going to call it Birds of Prey, right?
Second worst name of the year.
The Harley Quinn movie.
Well, I think the intent is that they want to do more Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
Maybe change up the cast and so on, kind of like a Suicide Squad.
Right.
With a primary.
And this is that same
cast.
Suicide Squad.
So what's the next
universe.
one going to be? Birds of Prey, the extraordinary,
the extraordinary return of the one Joker,
a perusal through the paradise of Palisades.
Right.
Like, come on.
Birds of Prey is a perfectly fine name for that movie.
Sure, but do we know what Birds of Prey is?
It's basically it's after splitting with the Joker, Harley Quinn joins superheroes.
I know what the movie's about.
Oh, okay.
But do we know what it is, like in the comic world?
I don't care. No, I just wanted to. But by that I mean, you shouldn't have to know what a comic is based on to sell me to go see it.
But it's the same thing of like Suicide Squad, right?
Right.
What we're looking
it's
at.
It's a team coming together.
So it's a team coming together,
Sure.
all-female team.
Yeah.
Right? So this is Warner trying to capitalize on their first all-female superhero ensemble cast after crushing, the first female-led superhero movie with Wonder Woman, right? So they knew that they wanted to do that, and that's what Suicide Squad. That's what Suicide Squad was meant to do, was to kind of set up this idea of like team dynamic.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn having her own movie and focusing on her and this new dynamic of I guess friends, if you will, that she garnishes. It's going to be very interesting. I'm intrigued. I think she was the best part of Suicide Squad.
Right.
Her portrayal.
It makes sense she's
Quinn.
getting her own movie.
Absolutely. And now going into like James Gunn now doing Suicide Squad, it's going to be really interesting. She's in it, right? So she is going to be the continuity that kind of pulls that together.
I was excited to see Ewan McGregor in this movie.
Yeah.
Black Mask. Yeah. Finally.
I'm stoked to see what he does with that. But I think that the big thing is I don't know if this trailer, it kind of feels like it doesn't know what it wants to be at times. Like, it looks fun, but then like coming off of watching Joker, and then seeing this trailer afterwards, which is what my experience was just it's just super weird to see that world and that dynamic.
We'll save that.
There,
we'll
right?
save that for the review piece. But I think the point that you're making is that Warner is kind of all over the map.
Yeah,
with everything.
They have 17 different universes at this point.
Well, that's
how am I supposed to follow
that's
this?
That's part of them saying, screw it. We're not going to try to build a map. We're just going to kind of take our properties and do whatever we can.
Yeah, it's worked really well so far, DC.
Well,
keep up the good work.
You know, it's yet to be seen. But.
So this next trailer is 1917. We all saw this in the movie theater.
Yes.
This is directed by Sam Mendes, starring Andrew Scott, Richard Madden, Benedict Cumberbatch, and Colin Firth. I got to say, when I first, I didn't even put my eyes on the screen, and I heard Benedict's voice, and I was like, I'm in. This looks fantastic. What do you guys think?
Oh, it looks incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, that closing shot as he's running and as everything's exploding behind him, and they go through the 1917 itself. You know, it was like, okay, I'm sold. I mean, Colin Firth is terrific as well. But finding out after that this is a one-shot movie, oh my God! I mean, like, you combine Alfonso Cuarón with the opening scene of Saving Private Ryan, and that's what this movie is going to be. You know, you're going to have action. They're going to, lie on the bunker, take a breath, and then they're going to go right back into another piece, and the camera isn't going to cut. With tricks, obviously, but that sounds like it's going to be one intense 2-hour.
Alfonso?
No, but I'm saying that style. Sorry, it's not. It's directed by Sam Mendes, but you take the with Gravity, a scene from Gravity where it's that one shot. Or the scene from Children of Men where it's that one shot.
Like a one-shot take.
And that's happening during the entire movie.
It's the whole movie is one shot. It never cuts.
Is that what the point is?
Yeah, man. Oh. Yeah, I just found that out today.
I watched the
trailer.
I feel like movies like that, it almost makes it more intense that way, right? It's kind of...
You never have a chance to breathe,
right,
man.
You're consistently in that moment and following those characters.
And so you're going to follow two characters through this whole thing. They did 6 months of boot camp training. Sam Mendes apparently said to the actors, I'm going to kick your butt and you will never be in as good shape as you are going to be to do this movie. They rehearsed for 6 months so that when they were going to do these takes, it was seamless. They followed the beats and stuff. If it works, I think it's going to be something really unique.
Yeah. I'm super stoked to see what Andrew Scott does in the movie. I loved him in Sherlock. I just think, you've got Sherlock in the movie too, right? So
interesting,
seeing that dynamic again, I hope those characters get to interact.
Oh, without a doubt, they probably will. I think the thing that I got from that trailer is that Sam Mendes is kind of on the same trajectory, or at least trying to build the same trajectory for himself as Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
Because that movie, definitely, that trailer, had some Dunkirk vibes.
Very Dunkirk, yeah.
And the shot that you referenced at the end with the things blowing up and the guy running, did no one not feel like it was from The Dark Knight Rises when the football player is running through the field?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can see it. It's almost that same angle, right?
It's the exact same angle. So, and I think,
but imagine you're going to be watching an hour and a half of action before that happens.
Sure. I think there's going to be some clever cuts in this movie.
Yeah, it's not going to be obviously,
but it's going to feel like it's going to be one consistent narrative, because I think they set up in the trailer that you have a day to get there, or 2
so that's good. It's going to be their day, man.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be really, really,
and the whole movie is 48 hours long. It's crazy. I'm just kidding. We are going to move into Total Recast. So this is Total Recast, and this is going to be a segment that we're going to have on the show every few weeks. This is where we take a famous movie or TV show and recast it with an updated director, cast, and even sometimes setting or plot. For our first ever Total Recast, Disney's Hercules, and bringing in a live action cast, because we know what's going to happen eventually with all these Disney live action movies, right? So I would love for I don't know. I feel like Kevin, maybe you need to go last because
I would like to see Kevin go first.
Well, you want to copy my answers?
No, because you were the one who suggested it. So
I've been thinking about this one for months.
Exactly.
And I've changed my answer about 10 times.
All right. So, Kevin.
Hercules is my favorite Disney movie. I have finally decided. It took me 34 years. It is my favorite.
Wow.
And I don't care what anybody... Come at me.
Yeah.
Tweet me.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I would agree with
on
that.
Twitter.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So, doing this was so fun. And I would, unlike, say, a Mulan, where it looks like they're going to really change the tone and style and there aren't going to be musical numbers, with Hercules, you absolutely have to keep it the same. I'm not saying a shot-for-shot remake a la Lion King.
Right.
But I want that same vibe, that same vibrant, colorful look with the curly hair and just that sort of aesthetic, and I want those songs.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get Lin-Manuel annoying to come in and rewrite songs. No, I want the songs as they were in that original movie.
I'm sorry, did you call him Lin-Manuel annoying?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
Lin-Manuel?
I'm not a big fan of his
That's
style.
hilarious. That was funny. I liked how you just incorporated another word into his name and made it seem like it was just fluid.
That's just, yeah. Well,
so Kevin.
That's what he's called around my neck.
All right, let's get to this total recast. Kevin, who do you have?
Okay, but so starting off with, I guess, our main titular character, Hercules.
Mm-hmm.
I've also cast a young Hercules, and I've chosen this character not because he necessarily would be an excellent young representation of my more grown-up early 20s, whatever it would be, late teens, early 20s, sort of bulky Hulk, but because the dynamic between this tall, gangly kid and a more ripped Hercules would just work really well. So give me Finn Wolfhard walking around, bumbling around, knocking over vases, pissing people off, unable to control his strength. I think he'd be really fun in that.
That's a good one.
And then he grows up to be Liam Hemsworth. Wow. I think he's got the look. I think he needs that.
I thought you were going to say Bill Hader.
Yeah, see, again, the dynamic between the two might not work.
Right.
So you can recast the kid, but I want somebody with that gangly, tall sort of frame that Finn is just growing into exponentially.
Right.
But yeah, so Liam Hemsworth, I think he'd bring a sort of charm. If he could be half as charming as his bro, I think he could really sell this. And he needs a good, leading role, sort of get him out there. Let's see what he can do.
Can he sing?
Do they ever sing in the movie? You can sort of can Will Smith sing? Not really. Right. And he did it. So I think you can work around that. Herc doesn't sing that much. A lot of the singing is done by the gospel singers.
Right. He's got that one main.
He's got the, but just have Michael Bolton come back and belt that baby. His voice gets raspier every year. I love it.
Right.
And then moving to his female co-lead, I would cast Anna Kendrick as Meg. Yeah, give me sass, give me charm, be funny. Like, she's funny.
That's really
Herc
great.
isn't.
That's a good one.
I would like her there. In the role of Danny DeVito, I have Danny DeVito.
Of course, because Danny DeVito.
Did we all just give me shirtless Danny DeVito with goat legs, man? Yes. That sells that's the movie poster.
That's the movie poster.
That's the poster.
Yeah.
Grunting around
naked
like Frank and It's Always Sunny. Perfect.
Very cool.
For Pain and Panic, I went with Jonah Hill and Michael Cera.
Oh,
let's do a super bad. Good. Yeah. I think they'd be really a lot of fun in that role.
Bravo.
Getting bossed around by Hades, who would be Alec Baldwin. Taking no poop from nobody. Jeez. These two idiots screwing everything up on them.
That's brilliant.
James Woods is so iconic in that role. So you need a larger than life personality if he's ever going to stand a chance. I'll take Alec Baldwin with flaming blue hair.
Incredible.
For 1,000. And then as Zeus, your Zeus and Hera roles aren't necessarily as integral.
Yeah, more towards the beginning of the movie.
Let's go with I like John Goodman in the role. Is that too? What's it, Rip Torn? Yeah, it's almost a little too Rip Torn. So you know what? I'll go with my second choice. What's his name? Mr. Anderson.
You're talking about.
Continue. I'll get it.
The Matrix. You know who I'm talking about. What's his name? V for Vendetta.
We know the movies. We just gotta think of his name.
Actually, no. I'm going with John Goodman. I think you got to have fun with the role. You got to bring that sort of, fun, outgoing, loud, voice. I'd love that. It'd be a cool tribute.
Yeah. So you wouldn't want Hugo Weaving in that role?
No, I'm scratching Hugo Weaving again. He's out. John Goodman's back in, and then his much younger, more fun wife, played by Julie Bowen of Modern Family fame.
Oh wow!
I like the age dynamic might be tough there, but I'd buy it. I believe it with enough, And then we said we were gonna do Hermes as well.
Yeah, why not?
Joe Latruglio, most commonly known from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yes. You're talking about Boyle.
Boyle from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
That is brilliant.
I think he'd be a lot of fun too. So
that's fantastic. Boom. He would totally fit that role, and he'd sort of play, like really.
Hello, how are you? That keener. You can see him really being a keener.
So you've established that it would feel the same.
It's good. I want a very much Beauty and the Beast, Lion King,
musical,
Jungle Book, that kind of rehash. You can change things up, but I want.
And did you get a director?
I don't do the director game.
That's all.
I'm all about you guys cast me my director, and I'll do the rest.
Sure. Okay, Nate, do you want to go or do you want me to go?
I'll go because I want to see what you have after it. That's okay.
Oh God, because you think you looked at my notes.
I did not look at your notes.
All right, let's see
what
you're
talking about.
If you've chosen anyone that I'm thinking, I'm going to come over there and just.
So I'm gonna save Hercules till the last.
Very cool.
I'll start with Meg. Is going to be played by Allison Williams. You guys know who Allison Williams is from Get Out? I think it's probably the one thing that you might know her from.
She was,
is she also?
She was his girlfriend, right?
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
Yeah. I just think she.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
she has the look.
I think she has the look down, but I also think especially, coming off of what I know her from most in Get Out, the ability to kind of, especially when Meg goes dark side, and kind of when she's sort of, she's working with Hades, right? So I feel like she could have that sort of two-faced sort of ability to kind of act that out. So I went with.
Does
Allison
she have
Williams.
the redemption to come back from being the traitor that she, the liar that she is?
I think so.
I certainly hope.
I would love to see her change my perspective of her, because I just see her as her from Get Out. So that that would be cool to
see her in something
make
different.
me fall in love with her along with Herc at the same time. That'd be cool.
Yeah. And then for Phil, I was thinking Paul Giamatti.
Oh,
cool.
Right? You could do some CGI. It doesn't have to be a little person.
No, of course not.
Right?
Danny DeVito is not a little person, just to get that on the record.
Right.
He's a short man, but...
Oh, really? Sorry, Danny DeVito. I apologize if you're listening.
Well, we just lost one son.
There he goes. He's on. I saw. Yeah, he just unsubscribed. It's a live show. I think Paul Giamatti has the ability to kind of pull it off. I want to go for more of a younger group of people in general, I think.
And Paul Giamatti is the first person you think of with young?
No. But I do think, from a standpoint of if you're looking at, if you were casting older, there are some people that you could fit into that role. But I think Paul Giamatti with the rest of the cast. Wait till you hear it, and then I think you might see how that fits in. Continue on. I think so. This is gonna kind of. I hope I don't lose you on this one. Zeus is going to be played by Hugh Jackman.
Right on.
Yeah.
Oh.
So a kind of an olden, elderly, old him up, get the makeup on him.
Now we want him in Wolverine shape, right? Sitting there on the chair.
Fully ripped.
Twirly nipples. Absolutely.
They'll have to use some really impressive CGI for the twirly nipples. And then for Hera, I was thinking Julianne Moore.
Okay.
Getting her in there.
Yeah.
She kind of is I think she can kind of play that sort of, motherly support character.
I'd see her playing it very similar to Rene Russo in Thor. That sort of mother figure. Sure. Mm-hmm. I love it.
Cool. For Pain and Panic, I've got Key and Peele.
Cool.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good choice.
Right? They're doing everything else.
You got to do that dynamic duo, I think.
Yeah.
I like.
Right. So I think your choice for the two is perfect. But I think Key and Peele, bringing that comedy element back into it, their voice acting, obviously, with Ducky and Bunny in Toy Story was phenomenal. I say, you know what? Just do that again. That's all we need. And, Disney will pay you again. For Hades, Gary Oldman.
Cool.
I was thinking, again, kind of, sort of, bringing in sort of again with Meg, and then who you find out who in a moment with Hercules being younger throughout the entire film, not just a young version and then an old version. I'm thinking Gary Oldman kind of would have that. As I said, he's a great character actor. I think he could really pull off that evilness. I just think he's played really good bad guys in his time, and I think that'd be pretty neat. And then before I get to Hercules, for Hermes, again, jumping off of Toy Story 4, bringing in Tony Hale as Hermes.
Oh, Buster.
The guy that played Buster from Arrested Development plays Forky.
Cool. Yeah.
Right.
Perfect. Yeah.
I think that would work.
That's good.
Right. He
that
can
one.
be that annoying character, the sort of shriveled down character. When Zeus gets mad, he can kind of, sink away and that sort of thing. And then for Hercules, again, going with the younger cast, Taron Egerton or Edgerton,
sweet.
depending on how it's pronounced.
Oh, very
I like
good.
that. I
Right?
like that.
Bringing it up from the Kingsmen there.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of inspiration from what we watched in trailers.
Too.
And
He
can
can
sing,
sing. Well done. Okay.
as we
That's a
know.
good casting.
Okay, yeah, that's my favorite of
From
all
his
of
work in
your
Rocket Man.
casting there. That's perfect.
Oh, very good.
Right?
Now,
Yeah.
tone. What's the tone of your
So
Yeah, I
the
wanna
tone
know
is going to be more. I want to go with definitely including the music, but I want to go with more strange, more kind of weird. And this is probably too easy, but I obviously bringing in Taika Waititi for this kind of really odd.
Oh man, you're combining some serious power here for me. I
Right?
want to see this movie.
Right?
now,
Yeah. Like again, I think having some of those roles, like having Gary Oldman, Taron Egerton, and then Paul Giamatti, and some of these really big actors, and then having Julianne Moore and like Allison Williams. I think they're unconventional enough of a cast to be then bringing in an unconventional director. And
I almost think your casting is too straight laced and almost serious and dramatic to pull off a weird ass Taika Waititi Hercules movie.
Yeah,
that would be my only concern there.
Yeah,
I would agree with that. I think like the casting that you've chosen
is excellent, but I think
excellent.
it's got to be more serious, less
right,
less funny.
Yeah,
But could Taika pull that off?
I don't know.
I don't want him to.
So. I don't think
I don't
so.
want him to.
It's ingrained in what he does. Like
right. When people go to see a Taika movie, they
know there's humor. Like you know, even if it's dark humor or just straight up funny, right? Like there's tone. There's always a humor aspect.
Well, there's still time. Maybe it'll get a new director, but I do know that all of the songs, of course, will be done by Destiny's Child. They're going to come back together.
Oh, that would be a good cast
for this,
that's what I had. That's
right? And they are 100% doing all those songs. That was between that and Taron Egerton, those are the only parts that I really, really liked about this cast. But that is my cast for live action Hercules. We'll figure out the director. Justin, what do you got?
All right, so I too had the tone of a movie that is harkening back to the original. So the music, for me at least, is what I loved about Hercules. It's something that stuck with me, and I would sing all the time.
Kevin's shaking his head.
I call BS.
Why?
When he was talking about this a week ago, he said, I don't want to do music.
To be fair, absolutely, you were right. I was thinking, you know what, maybe I'll go a different tone. But after looking it over, and I was thinking, the music is fundamental. And the only way that you could do a Disney Hercules live action is to do it different from all the other Hercules movies, which is the music, which really separates it. That's what's Disney's like little difference in telling the story, other than obviously other elements. So that being said, I would definitely think that someone like had two directors as an option. George Miller.
Oh, wow.
George Miller would do, I think it would be an interesting sort of thing for him to kind of tackle, Mad Max. He's done a lot of CGI films. I'm not to say that I would want this to be CGI. I think there needs to be
Happy Feet.
Yeah. But like he knows how to tell, like with incorporating music, like he has that experience. The only other person I could think of is someone like Rob Marshall, but he's done a lot of those live action Disney movies. So I would probably lean towards someone like George Miller, as a director, to kind of like pull this off, still have the musical quality, and have like a really unique aesthetical tone.
Yeah, I think a visual style would be
that's what, and he's very visually
really
oriented. He's very visually oriented, so I think that would be really good.
Sweet.
So, starting with Hera. Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, nice. Wow. Okay, cool. Okay, that works.
Cool. Yep. So Jamie Lee Curtis.
Easy.
Just trying to think of the order I want to go here. Okay, so young Herc.
Mm-hmm.
Freddie Highmore from The Good Doctor.
Oh yeah.
British. He's an English actor.
Yeah.
So I think we would have to try to somehow hide his voice.
Yeah, he was in he was younger. He was in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
Bates Motel.
Yeah,
he does a really good job.
Yeah, he was in Finding Neverland.
Oh wow.
Which really put him on the map. I think he would be just an interesting sort of like young, sort of quirky. I do like Wolf though.
Finn Wolfhard. Yeah.
Finn Wolfhard.
Yeah.
I think that's a really great casting.
My only concern with that casting is that he's like 27.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I mean he does look quite
He
young,
looks
but he's almost 30 years old.
Sure.
So it's
but
tough for a young Herc.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm thinking
probably.
like, you know, teenage.
Sure.
That would be my only issue with that casting.
Sure.
He's got a great look to be a young.
Yeah,
you know.
I think where I would want at least to start the story is not necessarily like we would see him as a baby, but then maybe then he is in his early 20s and he's like kind of dealing with it, like just kind of speed ramp it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be my young Herc. For Zeus, I was thinking someone like Kevin Costner, not necessarily the boastful voice, but like this sort of heartfelt, sort of, you know, very impactful fatherly figure. I thought that was kind of thing. It might
That's
be too
cool.
It might be too familiar to what he played in Man of Steel, Clark's father.
Yeah.
You can play multiple.
Yeah.
Play
But I think he's
different.
also
Play
garnished
different,
that.
yeah.
He's also garnished that sort of like in his rapport of acting.
Cool.
Meg. I had a couple options, but I'll probably just go with the one that I was thinking first. But Rachel Evan Wood.
Nice.
Oh, from Westworld.
Nice.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think she can. I know she can. I don't know, but
Right.
I'm pretty sure she can sing.
I'm
she
trying to
does have
picture
the
her.
sass.
I'm trying to picture her with like that hairstyle, or unless we go with a different look for her, right?
Well, no, like it doesn't.
Yeah.
I think like again, she
Well,
can pull it off.
if it's a Mad Max style, she'll be bald or something. So
This is like a mohawk of spikes.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Okay. Cool.
Um,
No, I can see it. I mean, look at right there. If you look at her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That could work.
yeah.
Very cool.
Hermes,
Yes.
Stanley Tucci.
There you
nice.
go.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Stanley Tucci for sure.
The Tooch.
Yeah.
The Tooch.
Okay, I love though Your Pain and Panic, Kev. I think that's great. It kind of puts mine to shame. Granted, these two actors are a little bit older, but I love their banter, and I don't
think Bobcat was a young man when
No,
he.
that's true. I was thinking Nick Frost and Simon Pegg.
Okay.
Pain and
Yeah.
Panic.
That's awesome.
Oh, I could see that.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And they keep their British accents.
Yeah,
Even though
absolutely.
none of the other cast. Right.
No,
but then they just
that's fine.
it's part of their charm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
I love that we all picked actual like it's not like the original Pain and Panic were like a comedy
No,
duo
no.
or anything, but we
No.
took it that way.
Yeah,
I think,
yeah.
I think
It's
the
awesome.
general consensus that we get from that is that it's a duo that make those two characters really unique, right? So,
Cool.
So Pain and Panic.
So that's Simon Pegg yelling at Nick Frost the whole time for screwing things
Exactly.
up. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. I think for Hades, you can't really replace James Wood. Like you could bring him back to do this, and he would still knock it out. But I think if you had to change the role and he wasn't available, Nick Cage.
Jesus.
Oh wow. Nick Cage. I mean, okay.
Interesting. He just makes me laugh every time I hear his name, unfortunately. But yeah.
Well, come on. Imagine he actually stepped into this and it was like a game changer and he brought his own.
Oh,
sort
if he's making puns about flaming thumbs and stuff, like
Yeah.
let's get Nick Cage batty. I'm down.
Cool.
And then I think all I have left is Herc.
The man himself.
Yeah, so this
Who's
is
gonna be-
actually pretty boring, but I'm gonna go with it.
You didn't.
What?
You didn't do Pratster.
No.
Oh, thank goodness. Because I think everyone
Everyone on the
imagines
internet
Chris
wants
Pratt,
him,
right?
wants him to be it.
Yeah.
I chose Zac Efron.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was a low key
It
option.
was
for me.
between him and Taryn for me.
Things,
Now,
Yeah.
looks,
Can I give you my
body.
alternate? Can I
Yeah.
give you my alternate? I just want to hear what you think of my alternate because it's entirely different.
Mhm.
John Cena.
Right on. He's got the physique,
No,
man.
but-
Well, that's what
like
I mean.
if you want to sell that whole
yeah.
the whole thing is let's get some Efron, he
Yeah.
can be funny, he can actually act.
Yeah.
I mean Cena's I
Cena
think
can
Cena's a
act.
better actor than Rock.
Yeah.
I'll have that
Okay.
discussion with you on another day.
Sure, better, but good.
The Rock is a billionaire or whatever, global
Makes a lot of money,
phenomenon,
sure, but like
he's no good. He's a terrible actor.
I just think
charming as hell.
I think people would riot in the streets for that. I think Zach's a safer choice, to be honest with you.
Safe, sure.
Maybe,
Yeah.
but
He's
I
a
think,
former
I think,
Disney alumni.
Yeah.
First
or
off, I don't think
alumnus.
anyone would ever riot in the streets at a Disney. Like people will
Really? Did you see the Mermaid
Yes.
casting?
I guess so. But my thing is that I think people will definitely be vocal.
Skinny people,
There you
skinny
go.
and fat people will be outraged. Too many muscles.
Yeah, you're probably right though. See, the reason why I chose obviously Zac Efron. He can sing.
Yeah.
He has a very good rapport in terms of understanding the Disney.
He's a
like,
great
sort of-
comedic
Yeah,
actor.
he can do the comedy.
Yeah.
He's definitely proven himself in his films. So
And he's got the bod too.
And he's definitely got the
Especially
Hulk
now,
vibe.
jeez.
He's
Oh,
jacked.
I didn't give you my fill.
Yeah, that's also a super important one.
Oh yeah, you need your fill.
Yeah.
Okay, so for this actor,
Get your fill.
fill. You're about to get your fill right now.
Jeez.
For Phil, I know it's going to seem really inappropriate.
Let's go.
Well,
Don't
okay,
stall.
it's Peter Dinklage.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, the
but
reason
you
why-
went little person.
Yeah.
No, but-
you never go full little
Well,
person.
first off,
Well, I mean,
he's-
Danny DeVito in the original role was that. No, I'm just kidding.
No, they literally crammed him into. No.
I think that'd be fun.
Well, I think the thing that's interesting about his acting background is that he does have theater and musical sort of background. Right? Like that's where he kind of started. So that's why I would want to bring him on for something like that. Is more for those reasons. I think it's just very fitting that, and I think he would lean into it. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah, he'd have fun with it.
he's established himself as a respectful actor. I don't
Cool.
think it. I just think that would be an interesting choice.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like it. Sweet.
There you go.
And the tone of your movie again is more serious.
Well, it's not more serious. It
No.
would definitely have the comedic tones. I just think that it's and the musical tones.
Yeah.
Because again, there have been multiple stories in the cinematic world, if you will. That,
The DCU.
There's just been multiple stories in Hollywood of Hercules in different variations. There's a version with The Rock.
Yeah.
Right?
So good.
Yeah.
Ask me
Outside.
about that one day. I'll go
Yeah.
on about that movie for longer than it actually the running time of it.
Yeah.
So good.
Very
I just
cool.
think that if Disney's going to do this, they have to keep the music. Like
Yeah.
that's the kind of the consensus I came to, because it's like there's been a lot of Hercules movies that have been done.
I'm glad you smartened up. Good for you.
And I do think that the music, like for me, like I said, the music is something that stuck with me. I just hum that song all the time.
I'm walking down the aisle to go the distance.
There you go.
Song's a
buddy.
Wow.
banger.
It's going to be good.
Awesome.
Very cool. Well, guys, that is our first ever total recast. Guys, I thought that was pretty great. I think we all ended up with casts that are very different. I would go see
I
any
want
of
to
them.
pick elements of all three and put
Yeah,
them together
yeah.
into a super movie. We will write it down, ship it over to Disney. There we go.
There we go. We're doing your job for you, Disney. Awesome. Cool. We're going to go ahead and move on to our next segment. This is... All right, this is Up to the Hype. Up to the Hype is our review segment on the show where we give our thoughts on the latest blockbuster movies and let you know if they truly lived up to the hype. For our first Up to the Hype review, we are going to be talking Joker. Todd Phillips' Joker came out finally after so much buzz at TIFF, and we watched it, and I can't stop thinking about this movie, you guys.
For better or worse, I agree.
Right? It's stuck in my brain, and it won't leave. And Justin made me promise not to go see it again, so I didn't. These are our initial thoughts. We're going to start off, of course, with every Up to the Hype. We're going to start off spoiler free for just a few minutes, and then, of course, we're going to dive into spoiler full. So, Kevin, what did you think of Todd Phillips' Joker?
I have to say I hated every second I was watching this movie. I can't remember a time where I was more uncomfortable during a movie.
Really?
I was twitching in my seat. I was nervously, moving around. That said, I think it was an excellent film.
Yeah.
A deeply flawed, terrifically made film. I'm all over the map on this one.
Yeah. Justin, what do you think?
It was exactly what I expected it to be.
Yeah.
It was like to a T, even right up to the end.
Mm-hmm.
This was a really nice, focused character piece on a villain that hasn't really gotten this much of a focus. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think any villain has gotten this much of a focus in a movie, and like a very real, organic sort of focus.
Right. I mean, we're going to be seeing Loki later on Disney Plus. That's going to be focusing solely on that character.
Right.
But even still, to your point, it's, I mean, I guess going back to that Scorsese quote, it's going to be very different.
Exactly.
Right.
And this kind of brings up that, tying in that quote into this, you see how this is, Scorsese was kind of attached to do this project.
Yeah. Which is kind of strange that he's talking about MCU movies,
right? But
the way
but
he is, and then
if the movie was intended to be this way, and obviously it wasn't, it's probably gone through iterations and script writing and revisions and all this sort of stuff. But the reality is that if he was behind this project, he saw the unique nature of trying to do something different with this story, right? So
it's something he's more used to.
Exactly, something that would actually resonate with an audience beyond just a fun, entertaining MCU movie.
Yeah.
It was something, because I was intrigued when I heard originally that he was attached to either direct and then produce, or he's written something or something.
But he didn't do it.
No.
So
No.
I
And the fact that Todd Phillips did it is very unique, because it's like, this guy has Old School is one of his films?
And The Hangover.
And The Hangover. Both Hangover movies. Right?
Yeah, in a lot of interviews with Todd Phillips, he does, however, talk about how obsessed he is with Scorsese movies. So getting the chance to almost work with him, and he talks about being on the phone with him for like a solid 20-minute conversation about getting him into trying to produce this movie, and yeah, just kind of, you can really see in this movie how much he's taking from a movie that I think there's two movies that he's really taking from: The King of Comedy as well as The Taxi Driver. I think are kind of the two main. When you watch those movies, you can really see these elements. And in fact, I actually, having watched The King of Comedy just a couple nights ago, I do recommend, if you are going to watch that movie, watch it after seeing The Joker. If you've never seen either, watch Joker first, then King of Comedy, because there is so much from that movie, even to the point where when you're watching it, there's a character in that movie that's almost like a proto Harley Quinn type character who acts alongside Robert De Niro as they pretty much fulfill the same plot, or very similar plot to Todd Phillips' Joker. I love this movie. I really, really think that if it didn't have, I think the message that it portrays on mental illness and on like the concepts of culture and society beating someone down and stepping over them over and over and over again. I think that message of that story, I don't think as many people would be going to see it now.
No, but the thing
if
is,
it wasn't Joker.
The reality is that if this was a movie that didn't frame it as the Joker, there'd be a whole other list of problems with it, right? The fact that
so it's okay because it's the Joker?
No, it doesn't make it's okay, but what they're able to do is talk about those issues in the framework of a fictional character, rather than, let's say, doing a piece about the actual shooter of the Aurora theater, right? Like what went into his sort of mentality of doing that. That in a way does glorify that. For me, I don't think I really I can see why people are having an issue, or kind of they're talking about it, but notice that this film screened in the Venice Film Festival, and it won its prestigious award. Yeah, right, the Golden Lion, and it was recognized as a very huge achievement, a superhero movie in a film festival, foreign film festival. Yeah, it's not until it hit here in the United States, obviously with a larger audience, more people's eyes on it, that suddenly these things started to come arise. These questions. On this side of the world, we're used to seeing things like, the stuff that happens in the news, right? And you can't help but draw those parallels of, is this movie really, what is this movie saying about that, right? I think a lot of people have this problem that it just doesn't really have any sort of messaging. I don't know if it needed a message to it.
I'm not sure what the intention of this movie was, because I felt nothing but sympathy and a sense of dread for this character. I felt bad for him the whole time, I don't think he was a bad guy. I think he ends up doing horrible things, but you can see how he was driven there.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that was the point. And if it was, why was that the point? It's a weird way to sort of approach the subject of mental health,
right,
and the way society treats people with mental issues.
But I think it gets people talking about it. Whether it's
so Todd Phillips set out to get people talking about mental health with this movie. I don't think so.
No,
I don't think
Why
so.
not?
I don't think so.
No,
I think that's.
I just
the
think
audience.
I just think it was a really weird
Maybe
choice
that's what
to
I
go
drew
with
from it.
this
Exactly.
character.
Yeah.
That's what you're intrigued by it.
Yeah.
Right. It's because it makes it feel so real and gritty and very authentic.
Yeah.
And it's not glorified and polished like the other superhero movies that we've seen.
Yeah.
It makes it feel a little bit more real.
Yeah. And I think Joaquin Phoenix's performance, I mean, if he doesn't get an Oscar,
he'll get nominated. I don't know if he'll win.
You don't know if he'll win.
I don't think he can win. Not with the climate surrounding the movie and today's everything.
Yeah, I think
he certainly deserves the nom.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, 5 minutes into it, I was like, man, if this guy just laughs like this the whole time, it's going to be the most annoying, overly theater actor movie of all time.
Yeah.
It's an incredible performance.
Yeah.
That's how I was able to hate the living hell out of this movie and respect the hell out of it as a film.
Right.
And this really, Scorsese, here's your comic book film for you, bud.
Yeah.
You know, if this is what you want out of comic book movies, no thank you, personally. It's too heavy. It's way too real.
Yeah.
It's a comic book movie. I don't need it to be uber realistic.
Well,
that's where I'm separated from the material.
I think as far as, I mean, for me, I love talking to you guys about video games and how I do feel as though video games have a really good, over film in my mind, a really good way to get you to literally be in the shoes and feel the experiences that you would not have the opportunity to feel in your own skin, in your own body. You can be all these other people or have these other experiences or have experiences and not have them to have fun, but have them to learn from them. And I do feel like in this movie, there were so many things that I was discovering about somebody that would be in that situation that I felt so much more, to your point, Kevin, for this character and understood this character more than I think I have in any other super villain or just bad guy in a movie.
This was like a weird sort of like a window into someone's very dark
you
perception.
don't want to be this character.
No,
you don't want to live this life. His life is terrible.
But that's who the Joker was,
to experience
right?
that.
Like that's who the Joker was.
The evil has to come from somewhere. I just think it's a weird choice to make that evil come from a man who was abused as a child, abandoned by society. Mm-hmm. His medication, his therapy, everything is taken away from him.
Yeah,
he has no support, no friends. His mother, you find out, is quite evil.
Yeah, we can get into spoilers now.
I figured we were going to naturally get in there. I mean, I'm not going to go beat by beat here, but this is a character.
His mother lies to him for his entire life.
His life is a lie, and he finds this out. Nobody knows how they would react in those situations. And I'm not saying, again, I don't condone his response to all of these horrible things happening to him.
Right.
But I don't blame him at the same time.
Yeah.
It's a weird choice for what is supposed to be your villain.
But I think that is kind of the unique sort of nature of this film. You know he's a bad guy. You know he's a villain. You know what he's going to do in the ethos of the DCU and who he's going to end up being. To actually see his story and feel remorse and to feel empathy towards the history that he's had, it puts you as a viewer in a very interesting place because you have always seen him as the bad guy. But now you're
he's not the bad guy?
No.
Let's say he were to continue and he faces off against Batman. Is Batman the bad guy for picking on and beating the heck out of somebody with a mental disability? Mm. All of a sudden, like, yes, he kills two people in this movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
3.
But is it 3?
4 actually.
Yeah, 4. The
two Subway guys.
Oh, the 2 Subway guys, yes.
The 3 Subway guys.
So he kills...
Oh, 3.
3 Subway guys.
So he kills 3 guys who are, without provocation, kicking the crap out of him on the subway. So it's self-defense.
Okay.
Then he kills a guy who manipulates him you know, gave him the gun in the first place that he uses to get in trouble, picks on him, you know, he pretends to be his friend but sells him out, and then he kills a man who publicly shamed him on television.
Right.
Again, none of these...
And his mother.
And his mother, who lied to him, abused him as a child, allowed him to be abused. He kills 4 people who victimized him just as much as he did in killing them.
Yeah.
Like, this is a poor, sad man that needs help, not, you know, condemnation for being an evil, sinister villain with evil intentions.
Yeah.
I think it says more about the fact that you have empathy for him than
that I care about people who are in an unfortunate situation.
I think it just says something more because given his.
Did you consider him a bad guy at the end of that movie because he killed those people? I
considered him starting a dark path and beginning a dark path because he, yes, had a rough life, but I do believe that with, it is hard in cases when in real life situations when you do suffer from mental health to talk about it, to reach out. Especially in our generation now where it is such a, conversation and people are a little bit more like, I have a mental health issue, right? Or I suffer from mental issues.
See, but we're supposed to, we want people to talk up and we want people to share their stories and share what they're going through. And this movie is trying to portray that as a bad guy. A person suffering through something like this is a bad person because they might make the wrong choice or feel that they have no other option.
But I don't know. What I got from this movie was getting to understand the feelings that this character would be having and aligning me with that. I mean, we've all been in those situations where we've imagined, illusions of grandeur, imagined, on the red carpet or in a talk show situation. We've all had those fantasies of, the person that we would be if we were in those situations or the person we would want to be with in those situations and having those thoughts, but we don't live with them. And I just thought it was an incredible portrayal of somebody who suffers from living with those ideas in his head so much to the point where that is his reality. He needs it to be real.
But what those scenes to me, like at least show is that he wanted to matter. He felt like his life didn't matter.
Yeah.
Like that quote that he had written in his notebook.
Right.
Where it said, I hope my death, what was it?
I hope my death makes more sense
than my
life.
Right. And I think that
CENTS. It's actually a great joke.
Yeah.
So, and I think that the interesting part of that is, and all of those little scenes where, yes, he's imagining, he wants to matter.
Yeah.
He wants to not make a difference, but he wants to be valued and appreciated. And I think as you start to see his first act of killing started a revolution within Gotham, right? Like I think that was the key thing.
Yeah.
About that
and within himself too.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
That's what started it, right?
Yeah.
And then I think when he killed his mother, it was getting rid of the past. That was the only thing that was attached to his past.
Yeah.
Was her.
If anything, I mean, I would assume he would have actually thanked the clown that gave him the gun. That kind of set in when I watch that scene, when I think about that scene again, him killing him, like I actually think that kind of, it's sort of, I don't know, for me that sort of doesn't fit as well. I get that he's kind of getting him back for what he did to him, but I think if you were to look at the Joker at a later point in time, he would probably regret that decision.
Well,
because he probably would thank the man who got him into that situation that escalated him to that point.
Maybe, yeah. I that's a valid point. I would ask Kev, like when you watched The Dark Knight, Christopher Nolan with
The Dark Knight is a cartoon compared to this movie,
right?
And at the time, it seemed like the realest, grittiest
right,
comic book movie out there.
It was also tailored to fit both audiences of a kid as well as an adult.
Yeah.
And it definitely tailored more towards the adult, but you could take your kid to see this movie and they would get scared, but it wasn't as dark. Like you can't take your kid to see this film.
I don't think I would recommend it.
Yeah, please don't. I wouldn't recommend it at all. And
I mean, we could go back and forth about the treatment of the character, the origins, what caused, all of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I just think you see a trailer for Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
Mr. J, she's talking about. This is not that Mr. J.
No.
it's just
that's intentional.
too out there, man. I don't know if it needed to be such an iconic character who is on the screen all the time. He's represented twice by 2 different actors in the last 10 years alone.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, there's too much going on in this DC universe that this real, gritty, make you feel like crap movie is in the middle of, you know, Man of Steel and Birds of Prey and Suicide Squad and stuff like that. And she's like, I found it weird how much Mr. J is referenced in that Birds of Prey trailer.
Yeah.
They're clearly bringing him back.
Yeah.
But it ain't going to be this one. So we're going to get a 4th iteration of the character in 10 years. It's worse than Spider-Man at this point.
Yeah.
Like, DC's just a mess.
But I don't think this
doesn't fit in anything.
No, and that's fine. I think it just needs to be its own thing.
It certainly can be its own thing. I just, and this movie 100% isn't made for me. And I completely accept that. I'm not mad that I didn't like it.
Sure.
I had feelings going in. I don't think I'm going to like this. And you remember, really?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to like it. And I didn't. And I have a lot of issues with some of the treatment of it.
Yep.
Really well done in a lot of aspects. Kudos to the film. They took a chance.
Yeah.
I don't think it worked.
Cinematography, like the way the scenes are structured.
I thought the pacing was fantastic. Yeah. I thought a lot was really well done. I thought there were some odd choices in terms of where they put in comedy, even if it was dark comedy. I thought it was. So again, it was a misfire for me.
Mm-hmm.
I can see why this is going to resonate with a lot of fans and why a lot of people are going to have this as their favorite Joker.
Yeah.
One of their favorite comic movies. And that's perfectly understandable.
Cool.
It's got people talking.
All right, Kevin, your final score, and then we'll move on to Justin's final thoughts. How many ha's out of 5?
I didn't. 2. Haha. I did not laugh very much at this movie at all. And yeah. So,
okay. 2 out of 5.
Oh, 2 out of 5? 1 out of 5.
1 out of 5. Okay. Justin.
Wow.
What are you thinking?
Well, I think that the passion that you have about this film, Kevin, is kind of it was a success.
It's got people talking.
It's got people talking, and I think that's a big thing. And whether it's negative or positive, it's still a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that's going to stick with people. So, in my opinion, that's a success.
Yeah. Going into the movie before you saw it.
Well, going into the movie before I saw it, I definitely knew what I was getting myself into. I was getting myself into a character piece that was very focused.
Yeah.
That didn't fit into the whole DC universe.
Yeah.
It was a one-off.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it succeeded. I went back and watched The Dark Knight in preparation for this.
Yeah.
Just to kind of find it. Because I what really resonated with me about the film is it serves as an indirect prequel to the Nolan universe.
Yeah, I was reading
in some aspects. It's definitely like in terms of age and stuff like that, you could definitely argue that. That's fine. But if this was the story of the Joker that we saw in Nolan's film, it's kind of very fitting.
Yeah.
There's some real raw parallels that tie the two together. That being said, from a film standpoint of how it was shot, it looked beautiful. Performance was impeccable. It hit all the marks for me, at least in terms of a great story. Not a great superhero movie, but a great story. And I loved how it was more of an Arthur Fleck movie than it was a Joker movie.
Yeah.
I think the realization of that was when he was sitting in the when he was sitting there and for the TV interview.
Yeah.
And he suddenly started to like have more of a bounce and like he
became the Joker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He started bringing in that flamboyant sort of behavior.
Yeah.
And then he just went off.
Yeah.
And that was like typical Joker. Like it was like just how you would have, he's like jumping out of the comics, right?
Yeah.
And that whole scene is like straight out of the comics. So I loved it. I thought it was really great. I'd probably give it, I would give it 4 ha's out of 5.
Okay.
And I know that it's a touchy subject and it is what it is, but I know that when I went in and I watched it, I wasn't thinking about that when I left. I wasn't thinking about that because I framed it in a character piece about a fictional character. I can see the raw, real moments that people are talking about. But for me, I don't think it didn't resonate that hard with me on that.
Okay. All right. And then, I think for myself, I just kind of, I think it was very much a movie that I felt I did connect with a lot of the moments a lot of the feelings that the main character was having. And I haven't felt like that, at least from a movie, for quite a while, that I was able to kind of take from that. And it really did get me thinking about the concepts of how many people have I passed on the street who I've maybe given a glance to, and now I'm just in their lives somehow, in their mind. And it's just one of those things that you don't normally think about. And I do like how this movie is kind of giving us those thoughts and giving us those, getting us into those conversations just to keep talking about it. And I really did enjoy this portrayal of that character of Arthur Fleck, and then eventually near the very tail end of the film, the Joker. I would say for myself, I would give it a 4.5 Haas out of 5.
Right up there.
I thought it was, again, as far as if we're looking at like what Martin Scorsese would consider a film, I thought it was definitely up there. And I don't think this is my favorite comic book film or superhero movie or anything like that. But it definitely is a fantastically made film. And I think the message that it does portray, at least for what I got out of it, I think needs to be seen. I think as many people need to see this as possible. So I definitely think, at least for two of us, it lived.
Oh, to be fair, it lived up to the hype for me. My hype just wasn't good.
Right. Yeah.
It met your hype.
It met my hype for sure.
I think, just as a last note, kudos to Todd Phillips to be bold and really step out of like his typical comfort zone.
Absolutely.
And, like, do that.
And my issues with the film don't come from necessarily the treatment of the character and the origins and everything. I felt like crap for 2 hours. I was uncomfortable. I was uneasy. Mm-hmm. It's just not what I like out of a movie. Yeah, I'm an escapist. I like to have fun. I like to enjoy myself.
Do you think you'd watch it again?
I don't think I would take the time to watch it again.
100%.
Yeah. And so, when we do watch things again, we are going to have a segment that we're going to feature called After the Hype, which obviously we're not going to do right away. But, a little bit later on.
If you ask me in 6 months to watch it again, I'll give it a crack. Yeah? Sure.
Cool.
And then I'll come back just as miserable and hate you guys for making me do it. But I'll do it. I'll take one for the team.
Now, speaking of watching things, and kind of coming back and discussing them, we are going to end with a segment that we're not going to go too far into because it's a pretty long first episode already, but called Watch Club. And Watch Club is kind of like book club, where we find a movie that's easy to access and maybe not seen by everyone and watch it. Then you can tune into our next episode to hear our discussion on what worked and what didn't, kind of like a book club, but better. For our first Watch Club, I am proposing we check out I Am Mother on Netflix. Ooh. This is starring Rose Byrne and Luke Hawker, and it follows a teenage girl who's raised by a robot.
Spoiler alert.
That's not.
Is that the synopsis?
I'm pretty sure that's in the trailer. It's the synopsis. Yeah.
I haven't seen the trailer. I'm going in fresh.
Okay.
I know nothing about this. I've never heard of it. I'll watch it.
No worries. It's on Netflix. You have to check it out. And then if you watch it, you can come back at the tail end of our next episode, episode 2. We are going to be discussing I Am Mother in our Watch Club. Thank you so much for joining us for our first episode. We've got all sorts of really cool segments and ideas for our future episodes lined up. So if you enjoyed this week's episode, make sure you subscribe to us wherever you like to listen to podcasts. We are Geekcentric, and you can be too. So you can also check us out on YouTube. Justin, where can they find us on YouTube again?
Yep, they can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/Geekcentric, or you can just search Geekcentric, not Geocentric, but Geekcentric.
And if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can add us at
Geekcentric YT.
Geekcentric YT, the YT standing for YouTube. And then you can follow us on Instagram at We Are Geekcentric. We post all the shots of kind of some photos, and all of our stories are going to be kind of what's going on around us. But our main shots are going to be of what our latest episode was or video was on our YouTube channel. Which, by the way, our last one, guys, what was the last one we did that we want everyone to check out?
Oh, we just posted our Office video. Written by
trip down to Scranton.
Yeah, a trip down to Scranton. Written by Mr. Kevin Hudson.
Cool. Awesome. We'll check it out. Justin, Kevin, thank you so much for joining me for today's episode. And as we say, love ya.
Get home safe, guys.
Peace.